Hi everyone, so today I'm filming a little extra video for you guys. It'll be mostly in English just because if I want to get the video I'm uploading on Friday out on time, I don't have time to subtitle this. But I do get a lot of similar questions and I think there's a lot of confusion about who I am and stuff like that, so I just thought I would do this mini Q&A just to answer some of those questions so you guys get to know me and I guess your teacher a little bit better. So yeah. So one point of confusion I think a lot of people might have if they haven't watched my channel for a while is mistä oot kotoisin? So mistä olet kotoisin? Kirjakieli, puhekieli, mistä oot kotoisin? So I am half American and half Finnish. So I think because I don't, at least to my knowledge, I don't really have an accent when I speak English. It throws people off and think that I'm not actually Finnish, but I am from Finland. I was born here and I have Finnish citizenship. So yeah, I'm a Finnish citizen since I was born. So yeah, and same thing with being American. I, have had American citizenship since I was born. And yeah, so I am a dual citizen and I think that might confuse some people. And that kind of leads to the next question, which is mitä kieliä puhut? Mitä kieliä puhut? Or in puhekieli, mitä kieli puhut? Mitä kieli puhut? So what languages do I speak? I speak as my native languages. I speak both English and Finnish. And I think that confuses people too, just because my Finnish I don't think has an accent and my English doesn't have an accent either. So that's because I speak both languages as my native language. So since I was born, I have been speaking both English and Finnish. I spoke English, or still speak English with my mom, and Finnish with my dad. So I grew up bilingual, speaking both languages simultaneously. And yeah, I was born in Finland, grew up in Finland, so I've been exposed to Finnish most of my life through that as well, and I was enrolled in an English-speaking school here, which is why I was able to kind of upkeep both languages quite consistently via that, and that's why also my sister went to the same school, so I speak English with her as well as most of my friends. Other languages I've studied French and Swedish in school, and in university I had a resident assistant who was her major was Chinese, so it was like a fun lesson she would have once per month, maybe once per week. I can't remember anymore, this was a while ago, so I did do those as well, but those are the only official classes I've had in language. And then missä olet asunut, or puhekieli missä olet asunut, so where have I lived? As I already said, I grew up in Finland, so I lived here until I was 20 years old, and well, there was a brief stint in the USA where I lived, but I was so young I don't remember that, so I don't really count that, but essentially I lived here until I was 20 years old. Then I decided to move to Scotland to do my undergraduate degree there. So I lived in Scotland for 4 years, and then I also lived in Singapore for 6 months because I did an exchange there. And then after that I moved back to Finland, and I've now been here 2.5 years. Yeah. So essentially I've lived on 3 continents, but by far the majority has been in Finland. Another question I get a lot is, oletko oikeasti opettaja? So, ootko oikeasti ope? That is a hard no. So, I'm not a teacher. I've not studied to become a teacher. This whole channel has been very much a hobby for me, and I don't have any teacher qualifications. So yeah, that answers that question. And then people have asked me, well, if you're not a teacher, mitä opiskelit koulussa? Mitä opiskelit koulussa? So what did I study at school? So my undergraduate degree was in psychology. This is what I did in Scotland and in Singapore. And my master's degree, which I did in Finland, was in human neuroscience. So very science-based degrees. So yeah, it, of course, not in neuroscience, but in psychology we did have some linguistics classes, but those were it wasn't a linguistics degree, and we didn't learn how to learn or stuff like that. It was more what happens in the brain when you acquire language and how the brain itself learns languages. So yeah. Then people often ask me, well, okay, so you did psychology and neuroscience. Well, miksi aloitit tämän kanavan? Or miksi aloitit tämän kanavan? Why did you start this channel then? So maybe some of you have actually been around for a while. Let me know if you have, but this wasn't my first YouTube channel. So my first channel was my vlog channel, well, what I now call my vlog channel. I used to call it my main channel. And I started it in high school, which was about 10 years ago. So I've been on YouTube for a very long time. It is just around the 10-year mark, I think. This year or next year would be my 10 years. I can't remember exactly. I started it because in the IB program, which is what I did for high school, we have this thing called KAS. So we need to do 50 hours of creativity, action, and service. So I was struggling to meet the creativity quota of 50 hours. At the time, I was really into watching YouTube, and I thought, hey, all these people are doing it. Why shouldn't I just give it a shot for fun? So I did. And yeah, in the beginning, I was doing like skits and more funny videos, tags, challenges, stuff like that. And I got a couple thousand followers. And then I think by accident started doing Finnish related content. So I was doing like Fun Facts Finland videos. I was doing, I can't really remember, like pros and cons of living in Finland, do's and don'ts of being in Finland, kind of stuff like this. And those really took off. I got so many views from those, and I was like, wow, is this my niche then? At the time, there was not a lot of people doing anything related to Finland. This was like almost 10 years ago at that time. Yeah, there really wasn't many YouTubers doing Finnish content, especially in English. And I had a friend at that time, he's Korean, and we would kind of do like videos where I would teach him Finnish, or I would give him Finnish food and see how he reacts. I had another Korean friend, yeah, I have a lot of Korean friends, where we did like a Korean Finnish song challenge, and I kind of interviewed him about, because he visited Finland for a bit, I interviewed him asking him what his first impressions visiting Finland were, stuff like that, and that kind of snowballed into that channel. At the time I was making Finnish content. If you want to check those videos out, it's still up on my vlog channel, so you can go ahead and dig through my videos and you'll find them still there. And then at some point, I think I did like a video about tips for beginners to learn Finnish, and that video really took off as well. And in it, I got a lot of comments and feedback that I should start another channel teaching Finnish, and I was like, you know what, that's actually a good idea. And at the time as well, this was, how many years has it been? 6 years or something like that. There was not basically any Finnish videos on YouTube, like teaching the Finnish language. There was, Finnish Pod might have been around, but basically besides that, there was like nothing. And I was like, okay, this is like an untapped niche. And you know, obviously I'm not a teacher. I never really took professional or Finnish classes or anything like that because I was a native speaker. I went to school in English. I didn't have like proper Finnish classes or anything like that either. So I was like a little bit nervous about it, but I was like, well, I speak the language. Surely, Finnish is hard, but maybe I can, at least try to help some people. So yeah, I gave it a shot and opened up a new channel, and here we are today. So that's kind of where this whole thing started from. Piggybacking off that question, another question I get a lot is, onks tää sun työ? Is this your job? And the answer to that is no. It is not my job. It's not even my part-time job. So yeah, I barely make any money from YouTube, and hopefully you can tell that because I've been doing this for so long, almost 10 years now, it is something I really do enjoy doing, even though I've had periods of time where I kind of disappear for a bit because I'm busy with studies and stuff, but I always do find my way back. So yeah, it is like a hobby that I've really enjoyed throughout these years, and I really enjoy connecting with all of you guys here, and a lot of you are really active on Instagram as well, and I really appreciate that. But no, at this point it's not my job. At some point maybe it would be fun to have it be like a part-time job sort of thing, but I don't know, we'll see. I do have a lot of actually things coming up in the next few weeks and months, so I want you guys to look forward to that. But yeah, this whole journey has been really I don't know how to describe it even. It's been a roller coaster. Like, my channel's morphed so much. I have 2 channels now. It's been with me since I was a teenager. Obviously I have doubts as well, just because, like, at this point in time there are other Finnish channels as well popping up, and there are actually professional teachers that are making YouTube content as well. So I do get like these doubts in myself as well, like, well, what are you still doing on YouTube? Other people can make better content than you, and like, because obviously I'm not a Finnish teacher. I have no teacher qualifications. I'm not that intimate with the Finnish language, in the sense that, I do speak it as my native language, but I feel like because I am bilingual and I have a very international background, I'm not as, I don't know how to describe it, like, intimate with the Finnish language compared to a Finnish person who was born in Finland, went to a Finnish school, only has Finnish friends, only lived here, speaks Finnish with everyone all day, every day. That's not my experience, and therefore, I don't know, sometimes I get these doubts, like, am I good enough? And then obviously, there's a hate comment every now and then as well, and I'm like, wow, maybe I do suck. But then I'm like, well, you know what? If these people are just like spewing hate for no reason, and think that my content sucks so much, well, maybe they can make a channel and do it better themselves then, if they think that. Yeah, I mean, I usually don't take it that seriously, but every once in a while, obviously, I think it's natural to kind of doubt yourself at some point. But yeah, I do constantly get like really supportive messages from you guys, and if I can even help like one to a few of you, to help you guys feel more comfortable with Finnish and learn it a bit better, then I think that has been a success on my part, because my goal is to not try to make Finnish complicated. It's to try and make it as easy and understandable as possible. I know I do dumb things down a lot. That's just because that's how I learn. I don't learn with tons of details and like going into the nitty-gritty of the grammar and linguistics. Like, for me, I don't learn that way. So I try to teach in a way that I would want to learn the material. So I know that's why like things kind of are watered down a bit sometimes for some people's taste. But if you're wanting more comprehensive, like really nitty-gritty detail, you should go to a Finnish teacher, because they would have studied this stuff in more detail than me. But anyways, enough blabbering. I just wanted to do this little Q&A session just to introduce you guys to me a little bit more if you guys didn't know me. So welcome to my channel. No matter how long you've been here, if you've been here for a week or one day, or if you've been here since I created this channel, I appreciate you guys and I hope you have an amazing day. Moikka!